Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Foundations.
Because evangelical Christians are longing for Messiah to come. They know a temple has to be made. So they give enormous amount of money to the Temple Institute to get all of the stuff ready for the temple and to go towards building of the next temple itself. Amazing.
Foundations. Understanding the Jewish foundations of our Christian faith. With Robbo Robinson and Mandy Warby.
Over the last few programs, we've been learning about the different arms of Judaism, different denominations, if you like, that make up the religious groups within Judaism. And this time we're going to be learning about a fairly new denomination known as the Noahides.
As you just mentioned, we're talking about different denominations, and Judaism has quite a few distinct denominations within it, and we've looked at some of them, and they get often criticised for all these different denominations. But it is safe to say that of all the different belief systems around the world, Christianity far outstrips all others just by the sheer number of denominations that we have within it. Like, for example, in Catholicism alone, there are 24 different Catholic traditions. If you did a search online for different Orthodox church traditions, there are so many, in fact, that they list them alphabetically to cover them all. And as far as the Protestant world is concerned, the denominations are in the thousands. So let's not criticise the Jews or any other religious group, really, for all their denominations, because, man, we're all over that, you know.
Streets ahead.
Absolutely, streets ahead, yeah.
So the Noahides then, as I said, they're a lesser-known group within Judaism, and I'm guessing from the name that they have some connection with Noah. Would that be a fair assumption?
Yeah, really good guess. Yeah, it is a lot less known, and it's definitely connected to Noah because of the name. That's a dead giveaway. First of all, the Noahide or the Noahidic community, they're monotheistic, okay? Just like all the rest, they believe in one God in like all the other sects within Judaism and Christianity, and theologically they're probably mostly aligned with the Orthodox Judaism. They also have a theological alliance with the Hasidic community, so you're talking about the ultra-Orthodox and the Hasids. Because this group was founded in the 1990s by the Orthodox rabbis who were also connected to the Chabad Lubavitch movement, so there you've got this connection with the Hasids. They are religious Zionists, so they believe in a national homeland. They're very much connected with the Temple Institute in Jerusalem. That I find really interesting because the Temple Institute, while they have a lot of backing and support from a lot of different religious groups within Judaism, they have incredible support from evangelical Christians. Because evangelical Christians are longing for Messiah to come. They know a temple has to be made. So they give enormous amount of money to the Temple Institute to get all of the stuff ready for the temple and to go towards building of the next temple itself. Amazing. So basically what is unique about this particular group and their connection with Noah is a set of Noahidic laws. There's primarily 7 particular laws.
Okay, so were these laws that were given to Noah? Because I don't remember God sort of presenting Noah with 7 commandments or anything like that. How did that work?
You would be correct, Robbo. You would be correct. No, he didn't give a set of 7 laws, but they have made 7 laws.
Okay. That was apparently given to Noah.
That apparently was given to Noah, yeah. And actually they've pulled these 7 laws from the Babylonian Talmud, not from the Bible. Okay. Which is kind of curious. This is a very much a group that the Karaite community would reject. Right. Because they would say, no, you've pulled these 7 commandments out of the Babylonian Talmud, not from the Bible, so we would reject it. Yeah. But these are some of the laws, like, and they are biblical. They just weren't given to Noah. Yeah. Okay, so you've got do not worship idols, do not curse God. That's the first 2. Yeah, well, they're both good things to keep. Exactly. In life. Obviously, another one's do not murder. I mean, that's another biblical principle, but not one that was specifically given to Noah. And then do not commit adultery, bestiality, or any kind of sexual immorality. Again, a good biblical injunction, but just not necessarily one that was given to Noah. Yeah, exactly. Another one is do not steal. And another one is don't eat the flesh torn from a living animal. again, you would say, well, they would be biblically mandated, but these are not part of a set of laws or rules that God specifically gave to Noah.
Yeah. And the final Noahidic law is about establishing courts of justice.
Again, you would go, well, yeah, what's wrong with that? Well, nothing. That's all a very good, solid biblical understanding of Scripture. They are good. They are in line with the Mosaic law. But again, there's really only a couple that you could say are connected with the instructions that God gave Noah after the flood had receded and they came out of the ark.
That's right, because God did obviously set Noah an agenda, didn't he, when he came out of the ark?
I think the ones that you would say would be very akin to what God told Noah would be the don't murder and don't eat the flesh torn from a living animal, if you read through that account.
Yeah, well, this is found in Genesis 9, verse 4. You shall not eat flesh with its life, that is its blood. So that's kind of, speaking to that. And then verse 6 as well. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he made man. So that's, once again, the law of not murder. And that's the basic principle.
Precisely, yeah. So the other 5 laws that the Noahidic Judaism embraces, yes, they're biblical, but in Scripture, they weren't given and mandated to Noah. So for Noahides, these 7 commandments are just the starting point, however. The foundation, if you would, for building a lifestyle of obligations and voluntary observances that are, quite frankly, just as constraining and restricting and all-consuming as a lifestyle, just like the ultra-Orthodox Haredim community. So they're very restrictive. They've got a lot of rules and regulations. But the striking difference between being a member of the Haredim or the Noahides is that to become a part of the Haredim, the ultra-Orthodox, if you're not Jewish, first you have to convert to Judaism and undergo an extraordinary amount of training and study. It's rigid, it's complex, it's exhausting, it's stressful, it takes a long time. To be a Noahide, if you're a Gentile, you actually don't have to convert to Judaism and become Jewish. In fact, a lot of Noahides are actually Gentiles who walked away from the Christian faith to embrace all of the observances of the 7 basic commands given to Noah, even though 5 of them weren't actually given to Noah.
Yeah, that's right. That's fascinating. So I guess in the Jewish worldview, they believe that one day Mashiach's going to come and rule the world, and that Gentiles aren't all going to convert and become Jews, but they will believe in Mashiach. So I guess there is a little bit of logic in what they believe there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think especially in first century Judaism, especially then, and it's carried on in the more rigid groups, there really was a perception that the whole world was going to somehow become Jewish and come under a Jewish Messiah. Yeah. It kind of was the mindset. And we've talked before, was he going to come as a suffering servant? Was he going to come as a warrior? But however he was going to come, the whole world would effectively become Jewish and embrace the God of the Jews. And so to the ultra-Orthodox community who believe that at some point in the future, the whole world is going to worship God, so they're going to be Jews or convert, whatever. To the Noahidic community, no, you don't have to convert. You can be a good Gentile, embrace God's laws and live according to them, but you don't have to be Jewish. You can live like a good Jew, you just don't have to be Jewish. So that would be the point of difference. I think also, just to finish off, I don't think this particular community, the Noahidic community, is not closed, insular and isolated to the point that the ultra-Orthodox are. They live very rigid lives, but they're a lot more friendly and open.
That's a bit of a quick snapshot on Noahidic Judaism. Next time we're going to come back and talk more about Masorti Judaism on Foundations.
This has been Foundations, a look at the Jewish foundations of our Christian faith. For study notes, resources and more, see vision.org.au/foundations.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.